so this is a Scotch called the Tarpit 9-year. It is partially bourbon barrel finish and partially
Pedro Jimenez.
Yep, PX cask.
Which is about on point. That's how a lot of them are aged.
About 106 proof, I believe, is what it said. It's batch 11, so this is, and I was told this is an absolute peak bomb.
All right, well,
so let's
hop into it.
Ooh, smells like it.
It smells nutty. Like,
it does.
You can get the. It doesn't smell super smoky. It smells more nutty. You get more. You do get the
roasted
sherry.
Almond.
Yeah, roasted almond, sherry. I get like a raw peanut, not even the shell. Just like if you were to rip open a peanut and pull out the.
It's like when you're waiting for your food at Five Guys.
Kind of, yeah.
Sitting there picking at peanuts.
Yeah. With that little bit of berries.
A little bit of that scotchy funk.
I'm curious about this. I'm really kind of like skeptical of it.
I'm going into this having no idea.
So. Yeah. All I knew was it was a peat bomb, and it doesn't necessarily smell like a peat bomb.
No, it doesn't.
I guess we'll find on the taste. There's more on the taste. But
it's actually pretty pleasant. It's not like rubbery.
I think it's the cask strength. I think that the fact that it's higher proof, because higher proof kind of masks super peaty stuff a little bit.
So I get like sweet fruit. I get
peanut shells. I get a fuck ton of peanut on this.
Peanut. I get
roast.
I was gonna say like a barbecue-y, meaty kind of note.
Because it's not smoky, but it definitely has a little bit of roasty.
It's the type of peat that comes off as meaty, not as smoke, not as rubber, not as anything. It comes off. It's one of those. It's like that's got to be partially. The PX cask has to have something to do with that because the Lefroy Cardeas was very meaty as well.
It's the funk of the sherry. The sherry is going to interact that way with the peat, and it's going to form like.
And ones that do it right will give it that sort of meaty,
barbecue-y, meaty note.
I'm actually really a fan of this.
Yeah, because this is very there's a lot the bourbon is in here too because it's buttery and it has vanilla notes too. I'm a big fan of this too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying this thoroughly.
I was told that I could tell that my friend who gave me the sample very much does not like peated stuff because he's like, I'm warning you, and I'm like, we'll see. This is it's not overly peated. It doesn't taste like cheap peat, even though I know this isn't a super expensive bottle from what he told me. I don't remember what he said it is. I'll have to do research on it after the fact, but.
Yeah, it's a shame it's not available around here because I'd probably buy a bottle of this.
He's from North Carolina. He said that's where he got it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really digging this. It's nutty, it's meaty, it's sweet vanilla. It's got a ton going on.
I'm going to tell him that I really like this, and he's going to be like, what's wrong with you? Meanwhile, I'm like, so I can officially tell my friends, because they added me to the little Scotch group chat, can officially tell them that I have been indeed turned over to the peated side of the world.
It's the only Scotch.
It's not something I'm going to go buy bottles of because it's just not something I consistently want to drink, but I can enjoy it. Aside from if I see certain cask strengths, I might.
I'm starting to get chocolate on this now too. This is a complex whiskey and I'm enjoying it.
It's like... It reminds me of something specific. Almost like a Butterfinger.
I guess maybe a little bit, yeah.
Or maybe it's like that kind of lighter chocolate with some kind of lighter, almost wafery.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a Snicker.
Nutter butter?
Oh, it could be a Nutter butter, yeah.
Or no, is it Nutty Buddy or Nutter Butter? Which one is the chocolate covered peanut wafers?
That is not the Nutter butter. That is whatever the other one is.
And I'm thinking of Nutty Buddy. Reminds me of Nutty Buddy.
It actually kind of reminds me of I don't know why so many things have been reminding me of ice cream, but cookie dough ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
I can see that now that you mention it.
Actually, significantly.
Because it's vanilla and creamy, and we're still getting meat note. I'm liking this a lot.
Yeah. It's literally this reminds me of like you took like the This feels like the ice cream equivalent of like the maple bacon donuts, where it's like a sweet ice cream with that savory bacon. Although it's not a bacon note I'm getting, it's again more like what you said, almost like a pork roast.
Yeah.
Or roasted ham.
You're gonna have to ask your friend if he's willing to pick up bottles of this, because
I'm gonna ask him if he's willing to give me the rest of this one.
Yeah.
Might be the one bottle of Pete I'll keep around.
Yeah, I'm liking this.
I'll do some research too and see what's up with it. See if it's something you could order relatively easily.
Yeah, let me know, because I would love to look around and try and find it, but I've never even heard of this one before.
Right.
But yeah, man. Again, this peated Scotch is the only Scotch I'll still drink at this point.
I have my exceptions, but that's about where I'm at too, and I never thought I'd see that point.
Oh, my list of exceptions dwindled tremendously once I found Irish.
This is true.
I think the only
I
exception...
can still do some of the Glenmorangies.
I can occasionally do La Quinta Rubin, but I don't think I'm ever going to buy another bottle again.
Fair enough, just because there's so much better sherry finished stuff.
There's better port finished stuff, yeah.
Sorry, that one's port. Oh. Is it the La Santa that's sherry?
Yeah, La Santa is sherry.
And the Nectar d'Or is...
Sauternes.
Sauternes.
And there's better finishes of that with so many different things. Like, Glenmorangie, the only one I would consider getting is the Signet, and that's one that I would take some real time thinking about because it's a $200 bottle.
Right. I need to do research. I need to hope we're not sitting here loving a $100 bottle.
If it's peated Scotch, there's a safe bet that it's probably going to be between like the 70 and 80 range.
Probably.
But the fact that it is relatively young, it's a 9-year, whereas like most of the standards are 10
True,
years.
it could be a little cheaper.
It might be.
But this thoroughly surprised me.
It surprised me too. I expect whenever you said it was a peat bomb, I expected a ton of smoke, but it's mostly buttery.
Yeah, and it is a peat bomb, but it's like the good kind of peat bomb, where it has complexity. It's not, again, like when you get a base Lafroig, and it can be very almost rubbery, just because base Lafroig does kind of give off a Band-Aid kind of note to it.
Yeah, you got to get higher proof Lafroig. Lafroig shines whenever it's higher proof. Low proof Lafroig is very rubbery.
Right, and I mean, there's definitely people who like it. I don't.
Yeah, you really need to like the rubber, and I don't. If I'm going to go with a lower proof, lower age statement, I'm going to get Ardbeg.
100%.
Like, the way I'll say it is Ardbeg makes better regular standard offerings.
And Lafroig does better experiments.
Yes, they do significantly better experiments, and cheaper too.
Yeah.
That Lafroig Cardeas, the sherry finish
at $100 when you look at like the fucking Corey Vrecken in PA is $100, like.
And that's a standard one technically.
That is a standard.
And you look at Ardbeg Scorch and it's like 150, and you're like, all they did was they took extra charred bourbon barrels, and that's what they aged it in.
Supposedly the drum is pretty good at 100.
Yeah, but drum isn't a common one to find anymore.
I found one in Delaware, just sitting on the shelf.
I'll look into that then if you see it again.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Because, I mean, I have a hard time spending, like, over $100 on a bottle. It has to be really that good for me to spend it. Because, I mean, the only bottles I spent over 100 on were Knob Creek 12 Cask, the Knob Creek 25th Anniversary, Little Book Chapter 3.
4 and 5.
Yeah, but those are experiments that the Knob Creek or the Jim Beam fanboy me needs to try.
Red Spot. Balmorea.
Yes. Balmore I would not buy again. I thought more about it. I wouldn't buy it again. I'll make the bottle last, but like...
Right. It's expensive for what it is. It was really good, but...
I think...
It's just one of those ones that it's hard to justify replacing at the price.
I think that when I try Peerless Double Oak is also cask strength and double oaked with around the same age, but it's Kentucky made. So I think that that's going to be the one that like is like...
Right.
I don't ever need Balmore ever again.
Right.
Because it is overpriced. It really is.
Right. But yeah, so Tarpit 9 year. There's some acronym. It's like SMWS. I need to look up what that actually means.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
But yeah, I didn't do any research into this, and I am tired and don't really feel like looking it up. So
I don't blame you.
I went into this pretty blind to the point where we still don't know exactly what it is, other than it's good.
I thoroughly
Very
enjoyed
good.
that. It's not on the same level as Ardbeg and Lefroy, but that's a bottle I would have around.
Agreed. But yeah.